Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm getting my teeth. 1 second. Sorry about that, everybody. Right with you. I have to get my teeth. Yep. Thank everybody for their patience. I had to get my tea, man. We had an amazing workout. Peace to my brother Armand. I know that's my brother Armand Baskin from my city, Flint, Michigan. Peace and love to my brother. I love you. You know that I'll see you soon, brother. I'm having a little event out here in Arizona for my solar return. Some of my muftis coming out here, then I'll be in the city for a while. Checking out some places. Hopefully we can get our boutique and our art gallery, our bookstore, and where we sell all our cultural stuff, our tunics. So I'll be teaching classes from that same location. So we'll be doing workouts and stuff there. So I'm putting that in the atmosphere. Hopefully my spirit and the Holy Spirit will align so we can make that happen. But we had an amazing workout today, man, and thank everyone for joining us on our workout. Take your time with it, share it with your friends and family. Okay. But yeah, just peace to everyone, man. And first of all, I want to say peace, love, and light to everyone. I don't let my Moorish culture mess up my history and a lot of the things that I've been initiated in, the science. I tell everyone, I'm not Orthodox, I'm a teacher, I'm a shaman, I'm a medicine man. Yes, I'm a Moor, that's my nationality. I'm also an educator. I have a dual master's degree. Soon I have a doctorate. I've lectured, I've been through all religious houses, I've written books, I travel on my own dime. But when I jump on here, I just like to give teaching to my brothers and sisters that I had the pleasure to do on college campuses and other places and libraries, and try to bring some things to our people that's not common. The things that I talk about is common in academia and other places. and with those that study. It's not just about a book. And I always challenge young nobles and brothers when they get into science, because a lot of people just follow TikTok influencers and things. But it's all about having a map and guide. Just like when you're going through martial arts, you can't really study martial arts just by getting a book or watching TikTok. And in reality, TikTok and all social media wasn't around. So when I try to show young brothers, and myself as a mentor in real life and a behavior therapist in real life, and I deal with children that's fatherless, motherless, and all that, you need a map and a guide. And you see how a lot of men that's older today, their behaviors, you can tell they didn't have a map and a guide in their life, because a lot of men have they operate just off feeling. They don't use their brain. And so when I see a lot of brothers, and I say, slow down, young grasshopper, because just reading a whole bunch of books is not it. I've been initiated, anointed, and consecrated. Just like if you're going through martial arts and through the dojo. You can't just look out the window and say, ooh, I'm gonna go on Amazon and buy their outfit. Ooh, I'm gonna get this book and do all that, and then challenge someone that really do it. It's disrespectful to the craft, and it's disrespectful to that map and that guide. I tell people that all that. That's why our community have nothing. I tell all young grasshoppers, yes, you can do something on your own. You can do your taxes on your own. You can cut your hair on your own. You can grow your own fruits and vegetables. But say if all this stuff is in your community, all this stuff in your community, and you are part of the community, then you're supposed to patronize the community. And that's how the money circulates. If not, we wasting our time. Because I know you can do stuff for free. That's why when brothers be a part of my community and college students that I deal with, because I'm tax exempt from the federal government, and when they get books and stuff from me, I give. A lot of stuff that I talk about, nobles never heard in their life. They never heard about certain things in their life. And I say, this can destroy you. What? Something that you never heard and you just reading it, trying to regurgitate something, it can destroy you. It can mess your whole mind up, because most brothers and sisters, they family don't like them. They don't have a relationship with their kids' mothers. I don't care if you ain't married, but you don't have a union. A union is understanding. So all this wisdom these brothers say they have, no one like them in their family. They say they the outcast or the black sheep in the family, because I'm not. I'm around all my family. I don't care what they believe in. Just like Dr. B, he said, I go everywhere. I'm a likable person because I'm an educator and I know who I am and I'm anointed and consecrated. And so when I tell brothers and sisters, I'm like, dude, like, okay, you at least should want to have a map. Somebody introduce some wisdom that you never, if I talk about, hold on. If I talk about some historical figures or some science, and I have manuscripts, and a person just try to take it and don't understand the science that comes with it, or if I give you some grimoire, some science, and you think, well, I can't do all this, I ain't gonna get no dead birds or do all this, or if I'm talking about the Orisha or the crossroads or the Eligua, and I say this is some of the things that I have the pleasure to be initiated through with elders, you know, and I bring it to people, it should mean something. It should mean something. But I say some stuff you can't just read yourself into. I'm sorry. And I mean all love and respect to all brothers and sisters. You know, when you a map and a guide, that's like, I know a lot of brothers in fraternities. Like, I know a lot of brothers, and they be like, oh, well, that person is a sheik. I said, well, if you want to do a Greek fraternity, it's something that you're not telling your people. And so, for me, I always say, man, anointed, being initiated, there's nothing wrong with that. When you go through martial arts, that's a form of initiation. When you go through martial arts, that's a form of initiation. When you go through what, the yellow belt or the black belt or whatever belt you go through. But when you get to a certain level, when you get to the black belt, that's the time to learn. And so I tell young people, sit down and learn. We grow. Just like me, I have to grow. I tell every man that's a single dad or went through that baby dad phase and you a good man, I say, you don't have to go through some of the things that I went through. Why? Because I'm a map and a guide. I can show you. I can show you some of the mistakes that I made. I think my daughter is on here. Yep, that's my daughter, Madison Curry, right there. That's my baby girl. And so I speak from the heart when I tell brothers and sisters. I say, dude, it's things that can be corrected. You don't have to go through things just to say, I went through this. Why? Because I went through it for you. And my daughter loved me, and I love my daughter. I'm a grandfather. And so for me, I tell brothers it's a way to do things. What? Make things, your relationship with your babies, with the ones that love you right. As you grow, that's the relationship. And just because the relationship don't work with the mom, don't mean you and your child don't have a bond. And that's a lot of times where you see things happen in relationships. When the relationship don't work, then it be a strain with the children. And I don't want that to happen to none of my brothers and sisters that follow me that get into more science. I want you to be like, well, okay, well, and even the woman should be like, well, you know it don't work, but I'm gonna allow this man to deal with his child, and we don't involve the government. Because when you involve the government, we done. I just wanted to share that with my brothers and sisters, because when we get into this more science, I'm getting ready to be 49 on the 19th. I've been in all spiritual houses. I've been in all spiritual houses. And I tell my brothers and sisters, come on now. More science is not, we're not overthrowing no government. I'm not Al-Islam. I'm under the triple rose. I've been a minister in the Baptist churches in my city of Flint. Why? Because I went through the ranks. My mother and father have doctors of divinity, and I have a clear understanding. And so today I'm gonna talk about a little culture. When I talk about the African powers, like, I don't know if a lot of people know who Krita Matua is, you know, of the Zulu. A lot of things that I had the pleasure to study. I was gifted a lot of the wisdom. I was gifted so much literature and so much initiation through different sciences, through my academic endeavor and through me meeting certain people in the flesh, you know? So for me, I talk about our African culture as well. And yes, I'm a Moor. But I don't throw away my African culture. When you see the European Jewish people, when they swing in the chicken, that's from African culture. You know? So I deal with serving the 7 African powers and what it's all about. I'm just going to give a little preface of it. I'm not going to indulge in it too long, but I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. You know, like I tell people, I deal with all the science, and I hope you do too. That's why I tell a lot of my brothers and sisters, religion will separate man. You must be educated. You must go through academia. I'm sorry, to know that you know. And if you want to challenge something, I always tell brothers and sisters, we'll challenge academia. And see what happens. The same way those like myself have done. You know? But I want to share something with y'all. Let me see if I can get to it real fast in my notes. But my brother, nah, why he want to call me now? But a lot of people that's religion, they talk about they don't deal with science and voodoo and this and that and the other. But clearly they do if you believe in spirits and you believe in this and that and the other. But sometimes connecting to the divine spirits of voodoo, hoodoo, whatever you want to call it, for certain practitioners, everyone is not initiated into it. Sometimes in certain, it's not necessary to be initiated in order to serve the Lord. And what I mean initiated is, how can I say it? I want to be politically correct. It's nothing outside of yourself of the initiation. So stay with me. Stay in context. You don't take no oath, but you initiate it. You know, a lot of people say this and that, but you have to be introduced to things. You know, when I talk about the voodoo and the Haitian voodoo, you know, in certain traditions, and it has some basic guidelines and things, you know. It's a different plethora of names of the spirits, the laws, the orishas, the Santeria, the Allegua, you know, mysteries, spirits, etc., which a lot of times is used largely determined by the region and the area. But a lot of times in New Orleans, a lot of my brothers, a lot of my Sufis, a lot of my shamans in New Orleans, they refer to as spirits or laws, since this is where a lot of the brothers that I met was born, but I'm from the city, you know? Like I said, it's no voodoo Bible per se, but it is some basic tenets that's common to many African-derived religions per se. And it's some principles and guides for like right living as a practitioner of voodoo. And that's what I say about when I meet brothers, what's your life like? All the books I be seeing brothers reading, what's your life like? Are you in shape? Are you correcting things? Do you love? Because I operate in love. And love don't always have to make other people feel good. It doesn't. In voodoo, there is no devil. The devil is a Christian concept and does not belong to the voodoo religion. When I talk about higher self, I talk about everything that's within. Stay in context. I'm giving you the gnosis. I'm giving you the esoteric. A lot of voodooists serve the Lord and revere our ancestors. And so if you know your ancestors, and if you can cross spiritual and religious texts, then you shouldn't have a problem with anything. Because you understand and you're on a whole different total vibration than any of them, than any religious dogmatic perspective that someone can give you. You understand culture, and that's what happened to a lot of our children. They got caught and misconstrued because they have no culture. We letting people that don't even know language and spells speak to our babies. We letting people that took an oath to a fraternal oath that they say they some Kappa and jump around, or they some Freemason, they took an oath. But they're not telling you the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I know this for a fact. And voodoo is a syncretic religion, incorporating aspects of a plethora of different religions or spirits per se. And you don't have to give up your religion or your science or of the origin to practice it. It's one nationality, many cultures, as I continue to speak science. That's why I say more science. A lot of people degree, that ain't what I'm on. I'm way past some goofy ass paperwork because I have the pleasure to study real law. I have a real business degree. So I'm way on a whole different frequency than some goofies on social media and TikTok talk about some paperwork. You can file this and you can file this, and I know they poor. You open up their portfolio, Fuji dust, but you were the one that get caught up in the pyramid scheme and the Ponzi scheme with these payola Negroes because you think that's gonna save you. It's just what it is. That's why I tell brothers, be careful what you ask for. See, a lot of brothers that get with me, I'm not a gatekeeper, so I'll give it to you. And I give it to you, and then I separate myself because I know character. I already do my voodoo on everyone. All my muftis, all my nobles, the reason why they're around me is because I know them inside and out. I've been around them. I read their tarot. This is what I do in real life. Some stuff I don't show because there's no reason, but I do it in real life. And so I already know certain men degrees when they come into me. I know some people think they're eager, but I know what they be doing. Why? Because I smell it like alcohol. That's why. I'm in tune with the spirits. What spirit? All spirits. All spirits. The Holy Spirit and the Satanic Spirit works through man, works through women. So if that's the case, I can smell that. And I do my voodoo on everyone that come across my path. That's why it's only going to be a certain amount of men you're going to see me around. Period. And then I let people get close to me to see their degree. That's why the Lord will not grant a request that is inherently wrong. I don't care how nobody feel when I do my voodoo. It never leaves me wrong. Never. There is a single creator, you know, which are many deities and spirits which function to guide people in matters of daily living. in your biblical scripture? What you call it? Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah this. What did it talk about in those different manifestations or those different hats? You don't understand. You're talking the same science. Different synonyms, but people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6, my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. Y'all, my people are destroyed due to a lack of knowledge of what? Self. Because you got caught up in religious dogma. And you missed and threw your culture away. And somebody say, when you die, you go to heaven. But you read the Lord's Prayer every single day. That's asinine. Serving the Lord is a means of gaining personal power or empowerment with which you can radically change your life in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. And the 7 African powers derive from the ancient African religion called Ifa. Why do you think most Europeans everywhere, they went to the east of Africa to learn it? Adam Blavatsky, all of them, they went to the east. They was studied. They were learned by Sufis, African Sufis. I'm telling you, Tasawwuf. But I understand Islam, all that outside yourself. I don't rock like that. I'm not that. I know I'm a Moor, but I'm way past all that goofy ass paperwork. And I'm from the temple. I'm way past that goofy stuff because it's meaningless. Because we all part of the universe. Literally speaking, who? Everyone. Your actions have consequences. Your consequences determined by the choices you make. That's why I be laughing at these goofy Moors on the internet with all that paperwork. I said, your consequences is going to get you what? Locked up. And why would you wait till you damn near 50 to get locked up, following some goofy Negroes on social media? You got to be a fool. That's why the young kids lost. Your choices mirror the content of your character. Your choices mirror the content of your character. Healing, balance, and wisdom are the goals of voodoo. Healing, balance, wisdom. You must not harm another person, Mother Earth, or the universe of which you are a part of. Discrimination is unacceptable. Discrimination is unacceptable. I'm in a red state, Arizona. I don't get no hate for no different colored person or European Albion Trailer, whatever the hell you want to call it. I get no love. What I do get is peace sheep, peace shaman, peace rabbi, peace rabboni, peace Melchizedek from different nationalities. I get no disrespect, none. And I'm a alumni from GCU. And you can select your guardian, your Lord, your Orisha, or they may select you. Divination is a means of communicating with and gaining advice and direction from the divine spirits. When you talk to, you talk to Jesus, well, I'm talking to the divine spirits. How can you have a problem with what your brother doing? Because you have no culture. But then you look at the European Jews and they twirling the damn chicken and doing all that, but you don't understand that's your science. Who are the 7 African powers per se? You know? They are the most well-known and celebrated divinities of the Yoruba pantheon. You know the pantheon, when I say pantheon, the highest, the pantheon, and are common to Yoruba faith, although they are not always considered, to be the same spirits, like say in Santeria per se, voodoo sister religion, referred to as Las Santas Hornisas, in Macumba traditions, Candomblé, and Umbanda, they are called Oaxa. In Voodoo, they are called Loas or Laws with the LWAS. In Palo, Nakisi, and in New Orleans Voodoo, they are called Laws or Laws. In all of these traditions, the 7 African powers, they all have a complex of aspects, like the Camisos or the Caminos, which are often, how can I say it, complex or diverse per se. Not complex, but diverse, I'll say that. Often referred to as gods, goddesses, deities, but in reality, they are manifestations of the one creator and the one revered ancestor. Remember? Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Jireh, Yahweh Nisi, Yahweh this, all of this, this. Same manifestation, different, same thing, different manifestations. Same vessel, different manifestation. Or different hats per se. When you're working for a certain thing, or when you operate in a certain manifestation, you have to have a different hat and uniform on when you operate in that different manifestation. I hope you're rocking with me. You have to understand. You don't have to understand, but then you understand. As one of the empresses said, she said, I don't understand you, but I understand you. And I said, what do you do? What do you mean? She said, because when I get in the spirit and I let the spirit talk to me when you talk, I understand. Exactly. And Orisha is a spirit which reflects one of the manifestations of the Olumra or the Olodumare. That's a god in the Yorubian, the Voodoo Santeria spirit, or the religious systems with the S. Not just a system, it's systems with the S, so that's plural. The Orisha are multi-dimensional beings who represent the forces of nature. I'm gonna close out with a little bit of Allegro. I done been to the crossroads. I done did it all. It's a lot of things that I'm not gonna talk about, but I'm gonna share a little tittle of it. Just a little tittle. I say a lot of stuff I'm way past. The Orisha are vibrant, living entities who take an active part in everyday life. The Orisha faith believes in the ultimate deity, Olurum, or Oludumare, who is removed from the day-to-day affairs of human beings on the earth. Instead, followers of the religion appeal to Oludumare through the various Orishas. And in addition, brothers and sisters, ancestors and revered cultures, heroes can be enlisted for help in our day-to-day problems. That's what I call on. A lot of y'all call on Jesus, that's fine. But if it never was a J in the Hebrew dialect, and the scripture says, praise my holy name, well, what is the holy name? The holy name clearly can't be Greek mythology, so what is the holy name? So you praying to something that's not holy. You praying to something that's not getting that, and you thinking you're getting something. So if you're getting something and you're not praying to the holy name, clearly it's no power in that. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. This belief is similar, or well, I don't even say similar, it's identical to voodoo, with the exception of some differences in the names of the spirits, right? Remember, Oludumare is Bandil or Bandile, and instead of Orishas, they are what? Laws. Same thing, different synonyms. So when people be talking, you be thinking they talking about something totally different because you don't know the synonyms. The Yoruba believe our ancestors, Oduduwa, fell from the sky and brought with him much of what is now their belief, our belief. When I say their, because it's not mine, I say our. Just like with the Sibyls, with the Catholic Church hid, the Sibyls, my empresses, when I talk about the god Artemis, and they try to change it, and the Catholic Church have hid a lot of this civil history, I'll lecture on that another time. But I'm in tune with all of it because I have to be. Why? Because this is my culture. That's why when people be talking, I say, please digress. Because it's all about my empresses. I understand the civil science, and they Moors too, and they know they Moors. I show you all the science. But part of this is the belief that our daily life depends on proper ailment and knowledge of our Ori. Our Ori, or our Ari, literally means our head. When I talk about the most holy place, the holy place, and a quarter roundabout. But in spiritual matters, the Ori, the Ari, refers to the inner portion of our soul, which determines personal destiny and success. The Aki, or the Aki, is the life force which runs through all things, living and inanimate. The Aki is the power to make things happen. To make things happen. When I talk about that brain, that auto-suggestion, it's an affirmation which is used in greeting and prayers. We all as a concept about this growth. So when I talk about, you gotta get some libation. And yeah, share this, please. But yeah, we, Orisha, a lot of practitioners, we serve to obtain Vaaki through our pel or our pele, the gentle and the good character. The good character, when I say it's a choice, the Holy Spirit and the lower self and man's thinking they know something, and in turn, we experience alignment with the Ori, or what some might call inner peace, or some might call our higher self, serenity, or satisfaction with life, nirvana, heaven on earth. When you get to that level, you have heaven on earth. That's where you get to that point. And this is what I tell people, it ain't about nothing else. I see everything. I do my wudu on everybody that come across my path, everyone. And I know how men operate, and I step from them. But I give you everything. The 7 African powers include the Papa, the Ligba, Obatala, the Yemaya, the Aya, the Oshun, the Chango, and the Ugan. There is some disagreement as to which of the 7 deities comprise the 7 African powers, but some practitioners include the Orisha, the Orunla, while others include the Oya, the Orunla, the keeper of the table of the Ifa, Yoruba high oracles, and the patron of the high priest of the Yorubian clergy. And it's just a tittle of men that ever achieved the status of the Babalawo, which is high priest. It's some things you have to go through. It's some things you have to go through. People talk about they some grand shit or they some, no, bro. And just because you grew up in that area or with people and all that, that don't mean that the spirit have to be right, because the spirit must accept you. It don't matter what region you come from. The spirits must accept you. The spirits must accept you. The spirits must accept you first, not man. And no disrespect, it's a position only open to men. I didn't make the rules in that concept. I didn't do it. Oya or Oyoa, on the other hand, is highly respected and feared for her awesome power. She is helpful for matters in business, especially to women in business, for ancestral connection, and for matters regarding severe weather. When I talk to my thunder women, you know, I chose to include Oya, because I don't disrespect our empresses, as opposed to Urumla, as she is more practical, accessible, and useful than the Urumla to me, to ordinary people. That's just for me and for how I relay the wisdom to my empresses. I'll give you a little quick reference of the 7 African powers when you may wish to refer to when constructing your altar, because you got to make your own altar. This is going to have to be a series. When I talk about the Papa Ligba, it removes obstacles, provides opportunities, communication, the colors. You see the red and black? You see the red and black? The red and black? You see this? Red and black? The necklace, the 3 red beads. The 3 red beads, altering with 3 black beads. Number 3, day of the week, Monday. Feast day, June 13th. Favorite place, crossroads. Favorite animals, the rooster, the dog, the possum, the mouse. Our favorite object, 3 stones. Oh, I'll pull out my talisman bag, but that's for later. I got my talisman bag, and all the stuff I'm talking about is in my talisman bag. 3 stones, the crooked stick, the pipe, the key, the doors, the small toys. Favorite food, corn, candy, rum, palm oil, coffee. Saints, St. Michael, St. Peter, St. Martin. Planet, Mercury. Altar placement, behind the front door. That's where you'll put that. The Obatala, the purpose is the rules, the mind. Rules your hippocampus. It keeps the peace. You hear me? And I'm always peace, 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 peace. I'm always contemplating, always. We maintain that balance, that chi. That's how we cure that cancer. Colors are white, silver, purple. Necklace, all white beads. The number is 8. The day of the week is Sunday. Feast day, September 24th. Favorite places is the clouds. Nigeria, earth. Favorite animals is the owl, the dove, the elephant, the coconut, and the snails. Favorite obstacles are all white substances. Silver and plantium, Favorite food is the pear, the coconut, black-eyed peas. The saints is Our Lady of Mercury. The planet is Jupiter. And our altar placement is the living room. Now the Oya, or the Oya, the purpose is the ancestral connection, success in business and in change. Our colors is red, purple, orange, brown, and all colors except black. The necklace, all colors of the rainbow. The number is 9. And my science and my Kemetic science with 33 times 3. 99 degrees of ancient rite of Memphis and Mizra, spirit builders. I don't have nothing to hide. Am I initiated? Yes. Anointed and consecrated. No oath taken. I'm a spirit builder. The day of the week, Wednesday. The feast day is February the 2nd. Our favorite place is the river Niger, the river Niger. Nigger, that's what it is in the Bible. Simon, Niger, is the river, nigger, Niger, whatever you want to call it. Amazon, wind, fire, hurricanes, tornadoes, rainbows, cemeteries, when people be afraid of things. No, I have to, because that's where I go and deal with the spirits. When I was initiated in a certain spirit, I'll tell y'all a little tittle about it. Man, I had to get dirt from a whole bunch of places. Cemeteries, railroads, banks, because that's just what it was. Tornadoes, rainbows, cemetery. The favorite animal is the sheep, the locust, pigeons, black hens, guinea hens. Favorite object is the black horsehair, the switch, copper, pennies. And so a lot of culture, I just say the penny. Now remember the penny. And now right now the penny, they talk about they're getting rid of the penny. That's a whole nother science. The flowery prince, growled rattle, conch shells and shells. You know we love shells, have a plethora of shells. Favorite food is red wine, eggplant, grapes, plums, rice with fish. That's one of my favorites. One of my favorite fishes is snapper and red snapper and red snapper and what's that other one? Did I go to this little Mexican place and they have the best, it's red snapper and sea bass. Oh man. Red snapper and sea bass, I'm talking about so good. The rice with corn, yams, chocolate pudding. The saints is the Lady of Candelaria, Saint Teresa, Saint Catherine. The planets is the dark moon, Uranus, and our altar is what? Where I always be a lot. The library, the study, the office. This is what became my profession. Yemaya, the purpose, the protector of women. That's why a lot of my cousins, if one of my cousins was on here, she know I'm a protector of women. A lot of women tell me about a lot of secrets that happen to them. This is the thing I know in a lot of families of things. Because I have my mother and I've been, how can I say, I have the auspices and I have the pleasure to be under the auspices of my mother and my father growing up as a kid. So they both trained me. They both showed me things and my mother was always transparent. And a lot of women has been abused. A lot of women has been molested by people in their own family. And so that's a spirit that I have in me when I connect to women and they come to me and I say, well, you don't have to be afraid of that. You a survivor. You a survivor. Now, the healing is to do your voodoo. The healing is to stand strong and help everyone else to make this known in communities. So if that person's still there, we know your angle. You see? And yes, we cast a spell, as you should. But the purpose is the protector of women, fertility, motherhood. That's why when I tell people, this ain't no boy club. No, the emperor sits on the throne with me. I cannot be around a whole bunch of no jackleg and no men. I get nervous because I know these Negroes trying to have a pissing contest. I can't be around a whole bunch of men. I get nervous The only man I can be around is my muftis. That's why I travel solo. I'm protected. Why? Because the spirits be with me. I be having 100 spirits with me. When people see me, they like, man, it's like a cloud, like a halo with you. Yeah, I know. I know who rocking with me. They travel with me. Colors are blue, white, crystal, silver. Our necklace is 7 white beads, altering with the 7 blue, then with 1 white and 1 blue, until 7 of each. Our number in this one is 7, completion. The day of the week is Saturday. You see, I'm gonna do like a Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm going all through the week if you understand the science. Just like in your Bible, he's this, he's that. But when do you call upon these things? Feast day, September 7th. Favorite places, Brazil, Ugan, the Ugan River. Nigeria. Favorite animals is the shorebirds. Cockroaches. Cockroaches, yeah, because cockroaches do something that you don't even know. But that's going to be a whole nother teaching. That's going to be a whole nother teaching. I'm trying to tell you. That's going to be, the cockroach I show you will be a whole nother teaching. You know, in a lot of movies like Tomb Raiders, when you see a lot of cockroaches, you got to understand why. It's symbology that they're not going to tell you. That's why everything is reversed. But that's a whole nother teaching. Favorite object. Because in Arizona, the cockroaches, they don't mean nasty, they bigger. Then they outside bugs. They call water bugs in Arizona. They just bigger. I'm telling you what I know. Our favorite objects are the growl rattle, the conch shell and shells. Favorite food. I love cornmeal. I love molasses. That's the only thing that makes sugar brown. Molasses. Watermelon, pineapple, papayas, bananas, pears, grapes. Our saints is the Lady of Regla, Mary. That's right. And the Star of the Sea. When I deal with my tarot cards, and I deal with the Star of the Sea tarot cards, I do it all on everybody. That's how I'll be knowing people's spirits when they come. And I just be looking right through them. With all respect, with all love. Why? Because I'm supposed to. Everybody can't be around me. I done been through the fire. I done lost so much. I done buried my baby brother, killed Jelani Goodman, babe, that looked just like me. I buried my cousin, Miguel Swain. He got murdered in front of my friend Mike Ville house. I buried Mike Ville. He got murdered by his brother. When we was younger, my friend Marlon Ville got killed by the police. My friend Michael Blackmore got murdered. When I was in middle school, dude blew his head off for his check when he was working at Kessel's. I saw my friend K9 get his whole face down there blew up, but he survived. And I want to give honor to him for going all that. So that's why I operate how I operate. Because don't no European, no alien, no Trinidad have no power to hurt me. I see that coming. Only people I've been let down is people that look just like me. That's playing the game. And so I protect myself, I protect women, my empresses, and I protect the movies that's with me. I protect them. That's my mission. Ashun, our purpose is for love, intimacy, beauty, art, diplomacy, wealth, sex, relationships, marriage, fertility. The color is yellow, green, coral. The necklace, all yellow beads, or 5 amber beads, altering with 5 red beads. Here the number is 5. In our moral science, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The day of the week is Thursday. The feast day is September 8th. Favorite place is Cuba, Oshun River, Ushagbu, Nigeria rivers. Favorite animal, the peacock, the quail, the vulture, the parrot, the rooster, pigeons, turtles, duck, canaries, and the crocodile. Favorite objects, gold, bells, fans, mirrors, scallop shells, tortoise shells, tortoise shell combs, and gold jewelry. You got to, why they like gold? Because it's our culture. Why they drip and gold out? Because it's our culture. It come from our holy land. They just stole it. How you think all electronics is made with coltan? They got to get that from the continent of Africa. Favorite foods, honey, cinnamon, oranges, pumpkins, French, pastries, melons, almonds, spinach, yummy. Saints is the Lady of Caridad del Cobra, the mother of charity. When I say charity is number 1 with me. If anybody know me, I do so much charity. I'll give 1,000 backpacks away. I lecture at elementary schools. I go to elementary schools and do workout classes for free. All this stuff I do under my organization because I'm tax exempt for the federal government. I do all this under my own dime. Brothers to get out of prison, I done gave so many prisoners suits and stuff. I done hooked so many brothers up with getting a trucking license and getting certified in like CPR and first aid and all that to do their own thing and work with children and all this. So I do a lot of charity, especially when I go back to my city of Flint, Michigan, because I lost my baby brother, killed Jelani Goodman Bay in the city of Flint. And so I go and help people, especially single moms that lost children. That's like one of my main things. When I go back, I be telling all single moms, if you need your yard cut, if you need your snow removed, I do that. And all I ask for is a donation. Why? Because I love to do it. That's part of my charity. That's who I am. Kids be needing things. Your kids going to college, I be a mentor. Your kid having behavioral health problems, I'm licensed in that. I help them. I help them. This is my purpose. Peace, Noble Malik. The other spirit is the Chango. The purpose of that is power, defeat enemies, victory, sensuality. This is what I tell people. I have to be under these 7 spirits. Why? Because I have to know how to deal with men when they're coming at me with all their ways that I already smell them. Most of my brothers have been with me for years, and they know I did my voodoo on all of them. I know brothers' angle. I done been around too many brothers, and they want something, they get it, and then they destroy themselves. I had a brother that used to follow me from my city of Flint, destroyed himself. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. You can't go to 2 dojos. And why would you want to go to 2 dojos and your sensei, he teach everything? Before you even start fighting, he show you how to be on time, show you how to tie your uniform, show you how to help everybody else before you do anything. Show you how to work with weapons, your hands and your feet and your mind, all that. Why would you want to be a part of 2 dojos? Why? That don't even make sense. That's why I have to do my voodoo on brothers. And that's why I deal with my muftis only that get close to me, because they part of the temple. They part of my school. They don't have 2 teachers. They ain't going to those 2 damn dojos. Why would they go to 2 dojos? They bring people to the schoolhouse. They bring people to the platform. My brothers bring people to the platform. That's how I be knowing Negroes' angle. They be wanting to put our shoes on. But I know better than that. Why? Because I already done dealt with the spirits. They already done told me. And the spirit never gets me wrong. Our color in this science is red and white. The necklace is 6 red beads, altering with 6 white beads. Our number here is the 6. But you can turn that 6 upside down as well. The day of the week is Friday. The feast day is December 4th. Our favorite place is Trinidad, the sky, the trees. When I show you how to astroplane without going nowhere. Favorite animal, the ram, the turtle, the horse, the peasant, the rooster, the turkeys, the lambs, the quails, the bulls. Our favorite object is a double axe and wood. Favorite food, apples, yams, corn, peppers, dry red table wine. The saints is Santa Barbara, Saint Jerome. You see, I'm dealing with all the saints. Planet is the sun, Mars. You see, I'm dealing with the constellations. Altar place, fireplace, business desk. Fireplace, business desk. The Ogun, or the Ogun, people pronounce it like that. But the purpose of that concept is the employment for you to be employed, for you to be able to employ yourself. And if you out doing other type of employment, trade hours for dollars, then that too. Protection, prophecy, magic, to cure blood disease. Like this is what we do here. When I say I don't tell nobody what to do, I understand that I do all the herbs, I do all the mixes, and I have herbology for home study. I love Dr. Sebi, but I have the manuscripts where he got the science from. And it's from the doctor from Honduras. And it's titled the Herbology for Home Study. And I make all the concoctions. I have to. Why? Because I'm a medicine man. Even though my mufti, Gregory Maso El, he has Mayat Santees, and he provides us with all our herbs, but I make concoctions. I have to especially make concoctions for myself. I have to do the voodoo for myself because it's self-preservation first. I can't be doing concoctions and all that, say this is going to work for you, work for that, and I don't know myself. Because how do I know work for you? And I ain't did your blood. You have to tell me your ailments. I know what works for me, and I do my concoctions. I'm getting ready to be 49, and I got a 6-pack in the front and the back. I run 10 miles a day. Me and my muftis, we train every day, so I don't understand it. Colored is green and black. Our necklace is 7 green beads, altering with 7 black beads. The number is 3 or 4. I said 3 or 4. The day of the week, Tuesday and Thursday. The feast day, June 29th. Our favorite place is where? The United States, where we like to be, in the deep woods. Our favorite animal in this concept is the goat, the dog, the rooster, and the possum. Favorite animals, favorite objects are anything iron, railroad ties, machete. I got a lot of machete and tools. Now you heard what I said, railroad ties, because that's something that you have to collect when you get initiated into a science, and I'll tell you all about that before I close. Favorite food is the roots. I got them in my refrigerator. Nuts, meat, berries, roasted game, white beans, palm oil, 7 soda crackers spread with palm oil. Saints is St. Anthony, St. George, and St. Peter. Planet, Pluto, Saturn. The altar placement is where? Behind your front door. Right behind your front door. So it's a lot of prayers. It's like there are numbers of prayers used in various voodoo rituals and ceremonies. I'll just talk about a little bit of it, like the prayer to the 7 African powers. I'll give you this, my brothers and sisters, because it's nothing secret with me. It's all sacred. That's why you can't trust no brother that took no oath. I say, yes, it's sacred, but it ain't secret. I'm initiated through the wisdom. I'm initiated through our rituals. It ain't nothing secret. Anointed. There's nothing secret with me. Everything is a form of initiation if you're going through ranking. That's righteous. But 07 African powers who are so close to our divine Savior. With great humility. Peace, Brian. Peace and love. These are some of my muftis are on my YouTube channel. It's Kari, I'm Hakeem Goodman Bey. And yeah, we on TikTok, but a lot of my muftis are on my YouTube channel. They just jumping on, so I'm saying peace to them, so don't mind me. But peace and love, muftis. Peace, Noble Brian Hicks Bey. Peace, my brother Malik Reedell. But the 7 powers who are so close to our divine Savior, with great humility, I kneel before thee and implore your intercession before the Great Spirit. Hear my petition and grant me peace and prosperity. Please remove all of the obstacles that cause me to stray from the beauty way. Oh, Olufi, I trust in the words, ask and you shall receive. Let it be so. Amen. And make your petition. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Yahushua, Holy Mary, Mother of Yahweh, pray for our sinners, now and in the hour of our death. Amen. Apostles' Creed. I believe in the Creator. I believe in Yahweh, the Father Almighty, the Creator of heaven and earth, and in Yahushua, the Messiah, his only begotten Son, our Lord, who was conceived of the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into hell. The third day, he arose again from the dead. He ascended into heaven and sits at the right hand of Yahweh, the Father Almighty, whence he shall come to judge the living and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and life everlasting. When I say the Catholic Church, I'm talking about just the saints, I'm not giving reverence to that, but I'm the saints. You have to understand that because that's where a lot of your science is. It's buried. It's buried there. I already told you what the Catholic Church hid in the Sibyls. I already told you about the Russian icons. When you go to these Catholic churches and to the Greek festivals, if you, an academia, or if you go, ask them to take you behind the curtain in the back, where they have all the icons and gold pictures of Yahshua and the so-called 12 disciples, and all in gold, and see what they look like. See what all the saints look like. I promise you. Ask them about the Sibyls, and do they have any information about the Sibyls? Ask them that. Ask them if they know anything about the Sibyls, because the Catholic Church damn sure know about the Sibyls. They know. They know. I know that for a fact. But with that being said, man, yeah, I just want to share a little bit of that. But a lot of science, when we talk about initiation, and like I talk about the Halo, Mayambi, that's like spirituals and rituals and spells. They like to call it the dark side of Santeria. Just like we talk about the Book of the Dead. That don't mean it's dead. You have to understand that. And only people that's initiated in the science know what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about certain things that you have to go through. And so I'll be knowing a lot of brothers' angles and how they come, you know? So we are called Peliros, you know? And I don't advertise no power, but I say it, since things is getting out and people ask me, people be talking about the vibrations, and certain people that know me in real life, I say yes, but I don't advertise nothing. That's why people are like, well, how did he do all this? My muftis, no, I don't pull out my tarot cards and be like, let me read you how these, yeah, I'm saying it like that. I'm gonna say it like this. These goofy women be jumping in inboxes. Hey, I just felt your spirit, I wanna read you. You all out of line. You don't let nobody read you like that, with that goofy stuff. How I know? Because I deal with both, and I deal with the Palero. I'm a Polaris, and I don't advertise our powers. You'll never see me, let me read your, pull out my tarot cards, pulling out my Orisha cards. Doing that. That's like some old school Cleo stuff that y'all used to see on BET when Cleo used to be on there. Call me now. That's what that is. That's some Cleo stuff. Hold on, let me connect this. 1 second. We almost done, because I gotta connect my time back. There we go. That's all that be. It's some Cleo stuff. They be getting them cards, and no disrespect to no one, but it be a bunch of, man, I ain't gonna say it how I wanna say it, but I'm gonna keep it positive. I know it's cap, and when the real spiritual God come around, man, I see through all that. Them cards is meaningless. I don't even need none of them cards to read your tarot. I don't need no card to read your tarot. Not one. Not one. And I'm not gonna do that and I'm not gonna promote that to no one. You know? When I deal with the spirit of Zarabanda, you know, the divine messenger of the underworld. That's how I spit it out on these people, because I'm dealing with the divine underworld. I'm like, oh, I know what you're doing. And you can't come with me no way, because my spirit already done told me. That's the spirit that mankind can communicate directly with the spirit world. That's what I'm doing. It's the lower world because it's the spirit world, you know? And my calderon contains all of the elements necessary for the spirit, Zarabanda, to manifest and operate right here in this vessel. And the spiritual calderon is a microscopic world and the doorway to any dimension and to another dimension. So I'm not even gonna go all there, but it's certain things that I had to collect and I had to get with to even go through it. You know, it was almost, I'll say, almost 100 things. And you'll be like, where you get all those things from? I told you have to be introduced and initiated, because you can't get a lot of these things from yourself. You damn sure ain't gonna go on Amazon and buy this stuff. 1 large iron calderon, holy water from a Catholic church, 8 large pure tobacco cigars, 1 large bottle of rum, Paleo Amargo, Paleo Venice Batala, Paleo Gin, Paleo Namo, Paleo Dulce, Paleo Hiuso, Paleo Jaban, Paleo Garamo, Paleo Gosimo, Paleo Meto, Paleo Acintano, Paleo Raman, Paleo Onadigato, Paleo Gaba. I mean, it's so much. It's so many paleos that you have to get. I couldn't get them all on my own. Damn, they're 34. Then you got 7 African power candles, 7 days, 28 small black candles, 1 human skull. Where you gonna get a human skull from? Well, I'll be telling people, I said, that's cap. Where you gonna get a human skull from if you ain't going somewhere that's people initiated and consecrated that does this? It be cap. 1 large, round, smooth stone. 1 large, black, Abistan arrowhead. Dirt from 7 cemeteries. Dirt from the crosswords. Dirt from the mountains. Dirt from the forest. Dirt from a hospital. Dirt from a prison. Dirt from a courthouse. Dirt from your backyard. Dirt from a police station. 7 railroad spikes. 4 large matches. 5 prepared cowrie shells. So it's so much. 7 large black roosters. Who you know got 7 large black roosters? So it's a lot. Human bone from right hand, human bone from the left hand, from the foot, both right and left. I mean, it's so much. And so when we deal with our spiritual thing, and then you see in a church house, and they just took one thing and gave you that, that's what they did. In the Bible, when people celebrate Christmas, it was Saturnalia or Yule. They replaced the Lord with the Christmas tree. And in the Bible, when you read Jeremiah chapter 10, it clearly tells you, don't follow Nicolaitans, follow St. Nick. Don't get a tree, wrap it with gold and silver and all this. Then people say, well, they will talk about idol worship and pagan. Well, damn it, the Bible telling you not to follow the Nicolaitans, following St. Nick. And the pagan thing, what they did, the pagans, idol worshiping was what? Worshiping this damn tree. And they made it, words have synonyms. So they said, well, we just give these fools a tree and instead of the Yule. But it still was Santeria and Yule, and during that time, Saturnalia, they were having orgies all in the streets. But the way to convert people, they had to leave some of their stuff or their rituals and their celebrations, but just change the names or the synonyms. So when you deal with etymology or origin, when I tell people words have spell, the origin and the etymology of Christian is Cretan, someone stupid, retarded, and missing limbs. Christmas is the Christ Mass. So I don't come with no disrespect to no one. It just is what it is. You can believe in anything you want. I have no problem with no one at all. But when I deal with my Isha and the Alegua, the Elagabar, this is what I deal with. And the Santeria and the Orisha and the crosswords, that's a lot of stuff that I deal with. Why? Because I have to. And I'm glad I have. I'm glad I've been through the ranks. I give honor to everything. Everything that I've been through, I give honor to that. And that makes me a better man in the flesh. You know, have I made mistakes? Yes. I made some of the mistakes that a lot of men have made. But I'm an elder. I can help you and guide any young man. And you're dealing with academia, you're dealing with stress, going through stuff with baby mamas, and you a good dude. I can show you how to be like, hey man, do it the right way. Because we all make mistakes. Everyone on here wasn't married to their children. And we're good men. Well, we try to show men and women to bring them together and leave that government crap alone. Leave the courts alone. Because when you deal with the courts, you give your rights away. That's the atrocities of the single mom. I'm telling you. And they don't understand this. We don't need welfare. We don't need no Section 8, no welfare. We need our community. We need our spiritual houses. So when our men have women under culture, we have our own homes. We have community. We don't have to run to the government to be the daddy. We don't need no welfare. We don't need no cheap housing. Why? Because we got housing. We don't need, we got to get welfare and get our kids on all this fake stuff and get the government in your business. No, because we have a community. That's what this is about. That's why we're tax exempt for the federal government. That's what a body should do with offerings and donations. What? Provide for the community. And everybody are stakeholders. So we can have a nation in a nation. And we don't have it. Churches don't have it. Churches don't have a community. And right here, we're building a community. And so I wasn't able to go live on my Temple and School YouTube page because a lot of my muftis was busy. So please subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube channel at the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And all our heading to be on the bottom. And if you like what we teaching, don't hesitate to give a small donation in your email. I'll send you literature. I'll send you whatever you need. Like I said, we have our own warehouse where we have our own, we ship out our fezzes, turban, tunics, kuthras, kufis, yarmulkes, talents, everything. We print and buying expensive books. It's just a lot that come with us. And once again, it's time for us to get our second brick and mortar. I don't know what state it's going to be in. You know, I really wanted to be back in my city of Flint, Michigan, But I have muftis all over, so it's just wherever people wanted to have it at. And we can own something, and we can be tax exempt for the federal government. And that's how we offset the money we give Uncle Sam. I teach this. That's what the Sopranos was all about. That's what the Catholic Church is all about. The only thing we own is our temples and schools that tax exempt for the federal government, that we can donate to it and get a tax exempt receipt to offset our taxes. As I teach us about tax codes and the percentage that you can donate to your religious and charitable contribution to help it, and then hold that organization accountable, because no one else is going to teach us nothing but us. We got all these brothers that got these degrees and these letters behind their names, and what they've done, they joined fraternities, which is the Greek of the fraud. They became Prince Hall Negro Masons. They took an oath, and if all that stuff good, and all we got these preachers in our neighborhoods, that's Prince Hall Masons and preachers, but they ain't doing nothing in the community because they don't care about you. That's why they part of that secret brotherhood. I'm telling you what I know. They have a secret brotherhood, because if it was something good, then teach it to the babies. Don't just go into the Masonic house with those brothers. Teach it to the babies. Talk about to know one, to be one, you must know one. Well, you got one right here that's 99 degrees. That's going to destroy all that snowman wisdom. Because 33 is when Jesus died. That's no science. In meteorology, that's when water freezes. That's snowman wisdom. Every European Mason, a Scottish Rite Mason will tell you that he or she is a son of a Muslim. But your misnomer black Masons will tell you that they some goofy ass widow son. How you gonna be a widow son when God Allah is the father? That don't even make sense. And the lower house, when they go through the blue lodge, is Christianity. When they get to the higher house, is Islam. And the password is Assalamu alaikum. Come on, you got to be asinine. You got to be asinine, and then you don't wear your fez freely. Why? Because your tassel is pinned down and it's marked. These is facts, and it ain't no disrespect. I ain't saying you in there sucking no blood or devil worshiping, but you know, I know that you know that I know. Because I'm 99 degrees of free Moorish right, and I have your charter. So I love everyone, and no man is over me. Nobody put no cap of no wisdom. No map and God put a cap on anyone's wisdom, on any young person's wisdom. That's what I do. It's nothing secret with me. It's sacred. And if brothers want to deal with it, I open the whole chamber up. I open the whole chamber up and just lay it on the line to show you who pulled the wool over your eyes. And it don't have nothing to do with nobody outside of yourself. I'll show you what the acacia tree means. It's from Africa, and that's where Haram Abith is buried, in a so-called shallow grave. And all my Freemason brothers know exactly what I'm talking about with love. It ain't no disrespect, you know? It ain't no disrespect. That's why I tell my brothers and sisters, I deal with all the spirits, but I'm in the flesh now. I'm initiated with wisdom, and I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm going to always be transparent. It's certain wisdom that I know the average brother don't understand or have, especially on this TikTok thing. Especially when they deal with law, because law governs all events. I see how criminals easily get caught up thinking they can sign some paperwork and get something, thinking their birth certificate is attached to millions, but the other jacklegs should be attached to millions. And then they'll get on social media and tell you that they made $3 million doing COVID. You got to be a fool to listen to people like this. A fool. We must be. That sovereign citizen stuff, which is an oxymoron, is criminal. That's Roger Elvig, Paradigm Group. And you go straight to jail. I'm telling you, each year I get the domestic terrorist list, foreign and abroad, and all them Negroes be on it. Every year I get it. I get the domestic terrorist list, foreign and abroad, and all those fashion groups be on there. I be cracking up. This is free information. Precedent law cases, doc number, Free Information Act. It'd be there. A lot of y'all don't know these people's real name because they have fictitious name on social media. My real name is Kareem Ibn Hakeem Goodman Bey. That's my real name. On my college degrees, it's Kareem Goodman Bey. On all my college degrees, on my bachelor's and my master's. My ID, same thing. My Moorish ID, same thing. My operator's license, same thing. All my licenses, same thing. And it's a big difference between Western Freemasonry, usually called Freemasonry, than the old-time mastery. That's what we about, old-time mastery. See, we gonna just let it fall where it may, or AKA masonry. And that's what a lot of brothers brought in more science. They tried to belittle our prophet like that. Yes, he was under the Kemetic science, but he didn't have to join. He wasn't under no Freemason, no European masonry, or no Negro masonry. I'm telling you, or his feds would have been defiled. And if he was under that, he came from out of that. And told your people what's not right, the same way what I'm doing. With all love, it's no disrespect. That's why I be telling brothers, man, Masonic brothers follow me from everywhere, and then they be butthurt. Because if it's so good for you, teach the babies, teach the people. Teach the people. Don't come with no secret stuff to me. Don't come with all that mystic stuff, that fairy tale stuff. Because the higher science, let me show y'all something right now. Because when I deal with the Atlantis of the latter days, when I deal with my Scottish Rite Masons and professors that I deal with, they'll tell you that it's nothing but the Osiris mysteries. And it's nothing but the Osiris mysteries. And I have all these books. I have a full library. All these books, yes, I converted them to ebooks. I have them all. And the European Scottish Rite Mason, it's Osiris mysteries. So why your brothers won't tell you? And the European call himself L.E. Rose. And the European will not tell you that they no stupid widow son. They'll tell you that he or she is a son of a Muslim. And I showed y'all, go on YouTube and pull up celebrating Noble Drew Ali's 135th birthday. And my European Scottish Rite Mason brother is on there giving credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday. And he laughing at Negro Masons. Not literally, but like, how y'all act like y'all don't know who Noble Drew Ali is? And he's quoting another book, not this one. This book costs about $500-600 on Amazon. It might be unavailable. But he's quoting another book called he quoting this book. Let me see if I got it. Oh, yeah, here we go. He's quoting this book. How the Arabian Nights inspired the American Dream, 1790 and 1935. And you see what the Albion European Mason got on his head, on his hat? Islam. He got Islam on it. So why are Masonic brothers not going to tell the truth and share it? They get butthurt when somebody asks them something. And the European Mason on here, he's like, how y'all don't know who the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is? We give credit to Marcus Garvey, but we jump right over Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So say, oh, he did this. Y'all don't know common law? Your granddaddy married your grandmama when she was 15. That was common law in South Carolina. Hell, what are you talking about? Some of your friends is PDFs that you know. Because, hell, it's free information. That's why I'll be waiting for Negroes to say something. Because all that stuff is free information in the city. I had to tell one Negro, I said, man, shut up. You on a PDF list. The Negro shut his butt down. Emperor's like, for real? He be around my kids. I said, you ain't researched the fool? He on the PDF list. He can't move nowhere without being on notice. And then on the internet, acting like you so holy. Miss me with that crap, man. Miss me with that fake crap. So we gonna let the chips fall where they be, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And only a righteous man will stand up. Only a righteous man. A liar, what they gonna do, or somebody that got something to hide, they gonna get mad and they gonna get pissed. And that's what most of them do. Snot be dripping out their nose. They be woofing like a dog because you saw the Lord self. It's a big difference of mastery, aka masonry. True masonry, as originally developed by the God-man of Africa, was designed as a ladder which climbed from the finite to the infinite height of falling humanity back to the heart of its creator. And these holy instructions became a 24/7 way of life for masterminds. I just broke it down in our 7 spirits. I gave it to y'all for each day, each spirit. It's all synchronized if you're dealing with a true person that's going to teach the truth. Everything else is uncivilized. So why would you want to be part of 2 dojos? When I had a brother, why would you want to deal with something that's 33 degrees, that's snowman wisdom? Why would you want to deal with it, no disrespect, an Eastern Star, and they pentagram is turned, and they not going to tell you the truth? Well, you not standing straight up with all your extremities. What? Arm, leg, arm, head, standing a perfect pentagram. That ain't no perfect pentagram. Miss me with the cap, man. Miss me with the cap. Only our own people going to do this to us. And they under the DAR, which is the Daughters of American Revolution. That's where the marriage license came in. That's where you're dealing with a third party. All these people that say, go get a marriage license from the city hall. No, you don't. You don't need that. You don't need that. You deal with your spirit, you deal with your brotherhood, you do that. You put it on notice. We do our own union. You don't have to involve nobody in your contract. That's a Daughters of American Revolution thing. I do your union. Your sheep, your map, and the guide, which is your right, just like the Amish, just like the Mormon. These is keys, and your religious rights trump everything, point blank. If you don't understand that, that's your fault. Brothers be part of brotherhoods and make sure they go get a marriage license from the city hall. Well, that's a third party. You don't need that. These is facts. Carnal men later reduce this spiritual unfoldment to like a couple of days, an hour a week ritual called religious services. True masonry, there are a series of tools used to create a building not made by hands. Just like in your Moorish Quran chapter 5, these are the tools that what? Build the perfect man, to make you upright. To make you upright. These are workman tools to perfect yourself. They ain't got nothing to do with outside. That's why the European Mason, they have to identify. When I deal with most Masons, and when I say shedding a light out, that's nothing disrespectful. It's a recognition. I'm telling you what I know. The temple of the perfected man. And when, no disrespect, when Europeans, Albions, Trinidite, whatever you want to call it, pillaged the universities, the temples, and the lodges of ancient Egypt, they stole and killed for everything they could see. When you research Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, man, come on, you got to understand where the science came from. These is facts, man. Collectively, these sacred pathways are called Solomon's Temple. Later, the stolen tools symbolize the stolen tools, the symbols, the rituals were used to build the Roman Catholic, the York and the Scottish Rite orders, and used against the African victims. You got to understand that. Who was buried in a shallow grave? It's in your Bible. Jebel, Jeblum, and Jeblim. Come on, man. Come on. These Western orders now beehive into Illuminic. I'm not going to say Illuminati. Illuminic. Because we are the enlightened ones. We are the Illuminati. This is the aha moment. This is now the light bulb come out. This ain't no switch. The electricity is right here. You feel the vibration. You're dealing with the science. All that other stuff is man-made. And that's why they have to identify. And that's why Negroes dressed up, they play around. They're not going to teach nothing. They're not going to teach the babies because they took an oath not to tell you the truth. I don't take no oath. It's sacred with me. I teach those that want to be taught openly, anywhere, on the streets, everywhere. I don't care where it's at, anywhere. I stand on my square, anywhere. No secret. It ain't no secret. The only secret is you. These Western orders, they beehive into Illuminic. It would be nothing but a game for caveman. If all the African valuables, including the crescent, the moon, the scimitar, the fez, was removed, it'd be all folly lolly. So why the brothers won't tell the truth? That they dealing with comedic science and it makes why they won't tell the truth? Why they won't tell the truth and know that the Pope and even the brothers that call themselves bishops, you dress like who? Egyptian priests. Tell the damn truth, shame the devil. They don't come from no Catholic church. You dress like, man, this come from all the Egyptian manuscripts. Stop playing with me, man. And then if you operating right, the followers of Yahshua wore a turban, tunic, cotton, or silk, and the high priest wore a turban with a jewel on it. I don't see no priest, no preachers, no melanated man dressed like that, with no fringes, with a talent, with a turban, with a jewel on it as a high priest. I don't see that. I see Negroes in suits and ties. So miss me. Nevertheless, when Freemasonry is used in any science, it's referring to the crime as Western Freemasonry. Western Freemasonry, because this is our science. I deal with the comedic science. I deal with the Masonry. You are a Mason. I deal with the science. We're gonna destroy all that lower level 33 snowman stuff right now. To most devout Masons, Freemasonry, a god made of certain, no disrespect again, European man whom they self-serve rigorously. They potentate the Europeans. Freemasonry as one of the most powerful gods of Europe, and the source from which, no disrespect, pale-skinned males drew the strength to give themselves the title of white. No disrespect. White is accepted as normal and often understood as proper. When Albions with Troglodytes, no disrespect again, are being addressed. But however, in the ministries of what we teach and what you understand, that's propaganda. It's brought to the surface. What title does Satan give himself? And the answer would be God. That's why we got to illustrate this to the covert powers of the mighty fraternal order. Just like our brother Steve Coakley, old videos, you can see Steve Coakley, Khalid Muhammad be there, C. Freeman L. Steve Coakley got a whole series of The Greek is a Fraud and the Boule. I challenge you to watch it. The Greek been a fraud. No disrespect to no one. We just coming from that scientific perspective of what's hidden and what a lot of these fraternal orders would do. And then why would you want to go through something and be hazed and come out? That's crazy. To this day, nearly all Negro, blacks, and colored people, acronym NBC, call, no disrespect, Europeans their God. Every time they call it white. I'm telling you. The user story here is that 99% of misnomered Negroes have absolutely no idea Western Freemasonry and the Illuminati are the foremost world order deities of Europe. Especially those brothers of African descent who blindly serve the order of Western Freemasonry, more faithful than they do themselves. They just call it Prince Hall Masonry. This bit of trivia is simply to direct the interest to the magnitude of the works of Freemasonry and its impact on their profane world, forcefully isolated outside of the lodges. Because you gotta come about these lodges. I tell you, brother, come about them damn lodges. That's what I'm saying. You don't even invite nobody in there. I know, I go in all the lodges. My dad was a Mason in the city. He got up out of it. I'm my dad's teacher. I'm from Flint, Michigan. My dad was an elder. My dad getting ready to be 80, all through the science. My dad had a PhD. My dad was the assistant executive director for Genesee County. You know, G card, anything, when women getting welfare, Section 8, the cars and all that, they had to go through my pops. Real talk. Real talk. And I'm not here to offend nor defame any organized group or any of their recognized or unrecognized members. But what I'm here as a light bender is to tell the truth, shame the devil. What I'm here is to tell my brothers that may want to join something. You don't have to join something that's outside of yourself. You don't have to join no snowman wisdom. You don't have to join nothing secret. Ain't nothing secret. All the hand grips, all the signs, all the passwords, the rituals, all of them, I'm not going to deal too much in them because it all comes from you. Everything comes from you. I'll show you. And it's the reason why I do this because it's respect, you know? It's for respect, but I can go there, you know? There are mere inners of Masonry recognizing and verifying one's awareness of a certain body that is still live in a particular tomb. They know it. That's why they castrate you. That tubal cane, balls cut off on the cane. That's castration. The purpose of this is merely to breathe the breath of life. I'm coming with the holy breath into the unconscious psyche of Moors, but to exhume your body whole as a people, intact as a nation. Even the brother Yahshua told John, the truth can what? Make you free. The truth can make you free. And in any case of raising the dead, being the handiwork of only masterminds like myself and others, there is always the conquest of the illusions and the obstacles between the dormant life and certainty of its resurrection. You're going to always get these brothers caught up in like that. They're going to be passionate. Some people are going to be sincere, but they're sincerely wrong. Because I can get the European to be like, yeah, you're sincerely wrong. That's potentates, that's higher than them. And they'll tell you that they are son of a Muslim. So you can't have no problem with me. You can't. You got to look at your brother that's a Prince Hall snowman nation and be like, wait a minute. Why the Europeans say he is son of a Muslim and we going around talking about we some widow sons? Daddy, checkmate. It's too easy. Checkmate. That's too easy. As for the entity of Freemasonry and the role it plays in the resurrection of the so-called Negro people, if a person needs to get from Wednesday to Friday, he or she must go through Thursday. And it's not disrespectful to go through Thursday. from its day through its night to reach Friday because it's necessary. It's the pattern. You see? And in this course of human events, it's just a natural fact. Someone put Friday behind Thursday. Like so, when one wants to get to the tomb of the unknown nation buried underneath the Constitution of the USA, where the unconscious African rulers lay in state, he or she must go through what? The secret seal of what? Freemasonry. You got to. And this mighty fraternal order is a, how can I say, secretly sealed stone of opposition that guards the entrance of the dismal crypt. And history occurred during the latter few centuries, and it reveals someone placed these events into the certain order. And today, Freemasonry stands as the major blockage of misnomer Negroes, attained of nationhood, under their one free national name, and rejoicing the nations of the human family. And in respect to the historical events, it was the work of the secret society which committed the murder, buried the victim, and concealed the evidence. Yeah. Therefore, it is not disrespectful to go through the Masonic system to retrieve that which is hidden there. And it's unavoidable, necessary. Watch this. To understand the history of anything, the subject, the student, must be placed in proper light and time and context. And during these last eons of years, it's been hundreds and millions of people on both ends of the whip who died in awe of the lock on the African slave. And there have been countless prayers, songs, books written, laws passed, tears shed, and untold other keys tried. But the old Dutch master lock has denied entry to them all. And this lock is a secret conspiracy entrusted deep in the lodges of Freemasonry. You know? And I'm going to show you the master key for the especial lock. It ain't secret. They know this. Only love divine at the age, touch of time can turn the keys that has been locking a clean and pure nation from the material world. See, I understand only Masons above ground would not be offended. You heard what I said. I said only Masons above ground would not be offended, knowing many of those being exhumed will unnaturally fight the light by defending the darkness of the entombment. When you look at that shallow grave, right in front of that shallow grave, you have the acacia tree, native only where? To the continent of Africa. These is facts. These is facts. And what European master Masons do not want their profane world to know. Who's buried there? Who's buried there? Ask the brothers, who's buried there in that tomb with the acacia leaf? I ask all my Masonic brothers, man, stop playing with me. Stop joking, stop being a goddamn court jester, showing all your teeth like a Cheshire cat, playing. Only going to the liquor well in a Masonic office. Tell the truth. Who buried there? We come to take the covers off all secret societies. Only a prophet and a God does that. You can't be mad at that. The real foundation of Western Freemasonry rests upon an awful murder. This murder is a pogrom of the God-man of the Nile. Yeah. African kings and indigenous African nationals. This capital crime including the subjugation of Africa through the dousing of the light in Egypt and the obscurity of the Garden of Eden. And this homicide is disguised in the Constitution of Freemasonry as the killing of Hiram Abiff, the widow's son. The embodiment of this slaying is unquestionably the master crime of the times. Hiram's death depicts a history from the first physical African man to be enlightened with the wisdom to the last man, European, to become civilized with knowledge, and back again. And to understand this murder is to free the Negro from his disguised grave of perpetual slavery, using the only divine key that will separate this mystery, aka secret, from where it is lodged. Where? In Freemasonry. And although Freemasonry is not a religious order, it is predominantly structured from the heights, it's structured from the Bible, the Torah, the Vedas, and the Quran. All of these books lay open on the Masonic altars. Ask them, any Mason on here, am I lying? All of these books is laid on your Masonic altar. So how you don't know what I'm talking about? How you don't know what I'm talking about? pending your chapter. And this Masonic history is more of a cover than a book. It is similar to the fallacy of having a criminal explain these magnanimous essence, to the need to know. And since this murder has not been publicly reported, the true characters will be revealed because there is no innocent to protect. Not only has this murder gone unreported, but also because of the great conspiracy. Those who have been most victimized now carry the black marks of death, yet does not realize he is dead. Yet both the murder and the death is real. Because our prophet, just like myself, we understand this Egyptian. We are adapt masters. And a lot of times people mistake me for something, or he's just a Freemason, he's a potent. No. Or a higher order of Shriner. No, we are the shrine. Sorry, I have my own charter. Sorry. I'm going to show you that clearly to reveal that no true God man can be a Muslim. No true God man can be a Muslim who submits his or her will to the will of the great God Allah while simultaneously give his or her will via oath. In the Bible, it tells you we don't take no oath. In the Bible, it tells you a God man don't take no oath. In the Bible, we under the order of Melchizedek. You don't understand it. And to the worthfulness of a man, aka your worthful master. It's a big difference between this self-mastery and Freemasonry. Self-mastery whose ancient educations were centered in Kemet, Egypt, and the European orders, the Negro orders of Freemasonry are built upon the latter, of universal laws stolen from Africa's grand temples. All the tools, the signs, the symbols, and most manifest seen by the carnal eye were pillaged northward in Europe at all costs. Western Freemasonry should never be construed or taught as something beneficial to our children of Africa or the continent. All lodges of European Freemasonry are built upon science, tools, signs, symbols, laws, rituals, pillaged from the temples, the universities, the lodges, and the pyramids of Northeast and Northwest Africa. Ask the true European Mason. She'll tell you that they are son of a Muslim. Read Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. Contrary to the Mason decree of being free and ancient, and in the ancient and free Moorish rite, our science way before that. Their stuff is modern in the 1900s. Ours go all the way back to the 1800s. I've showed this already. I already got the literature to prove it. Who's ancient? Not this, but the ancient and accepted Freemasonry, as it is established today, only recently began at the turn of the 18th century. In its first recorded meeting was held the 24th, 1717 in London, in a tavern called the Goose and the Gridiron. Remember? The social gathering of England's aristocrats, men of wealth and education. They formulated the what? Masonic order out of just being bored. It's the fact. They believe they can make good men. James Anderson, D.D., and the Reverend John de Greliers, you remember? Scientist, philosopher, and the third Grand Master entered the founding rituals upon what they knew of the Egyptian adapt. That's why when I show you Atlantis of latter days, the European call itself El Eros. I'm telling you, it's nothing but the Osiris mysteries. It's the religion of Isis and Osiris. Anybody get on here, they lying to you. That's all it is. And what was the mother of all the world religions? The ancient Egyptian mystery system, the perfection of God and man. It has been rearranged into 3 degrees of masonry because the last thing a mason knows is the first thing I teach you. Most of their structures, both buildings and constitution, were taken from the original African God man, Solomon, and the building of the temple. Yet the lessons can reach as far back to when the leprous, Albion, Trinidad, whatever you want to call it, people were first cast out of Amexima, the first true and divine name of Africa, and toe-line into what they say the Caucasus Mountains. But we know the story, and they were civilized. Or in other rituals and forms, Mason will acknowledge other African masters of the same family. They recognize Abraham, Boaz, Ruth, David, Hezekiah, Joachim, Joseph, Yahushua, although they may also draw some of their power from the Buddhists. Their highest acquirement is to find the God they seek, whose Arabic name is Allah. They know this. When you deal with that's why most of these Negro Masons, they be dealing with Malcolm C. Duncan's Masonic rituals. 1929 and 1960, that's modern. That's modern stuff. And he says this, it's a fraternal order for freeborn white men. That's what it says. But they won't tell you, it's an order for freeborn white men. Sound of limbs, not blind, deaf, or crippled, of age 21 or older. Binding is initiates to one another and to the institution for life by death. That's why these Negroes say to be one, you must know one. But if it's so good, why you don't teach the kids? What's so secret? It ain't nothing secret. It's Fuji dust. It is always good to know the heart of given subjects. You know, when we talk about free, ancient, and accepted. When I talk about the Masonic coffin and the acacia, the African acacia tree. See, brothers and sisters, I got a little bit more time. In Freemasonry, the coffin is showcased as an emblem of mortality. So the prefix mort, M-O-R-T, always relate to death. The word mortality refers to the human deaths on a mass scale. War, disease, catastrophes, genocide, and the West African God-man who civilized Spain. Remember, the Moors ruled Spain for 700-800 years? Where they at now? Dispersed in the world. Italy and Portugal was the trusted keepers of the ancient mystery systems of God and man. His infinite wisdom is the true tools which build Solomon's temples. The lodges of Western Freemasonry used the coffin to conceal their murder of the West African God-man. The sprig of acacia, a tree indigenous to the continental Africa, is the Masonic tombstone. When you get Thomas Jefferson Quran, I'm gonna show y'all some other stuff too. Right there, where stuff is indigenous to the motherland that you will see in the White House when the Moors came. But now taking the grave of the first man formed in human flesh to indeed be African. And an upright five-pointed pentagram denotes Morocco as its exact West African jurisdiction. Morocco was the capital of the old Moorish Empire, you know? And I show you all the coffins with the acacia with the pentagram on it. My Masons know what I'm talking about. And they all bear the pentagram. Some stars are open and some closed, but all represent man. All coffins have the acacia sprig. But some also boldly display the murder weapon, which is the setting maul, used to render the final blow to Hiram Abiff. And others show the very shovel of constitutional laws used to bury him in a northwestern shallow grave. Although dead, he was trained to walk around as a Negro, black, and colored people, but never realized himself as God. And the fiend existence of Hiram would never enable him to rise from the world's most secret massacre, whole, intact, as one nation bearing one free national name. And if these Western Masonic coffins could talk, each one would say, "We are the same." And you can notice the pentagrams, all of them. Y'all know, all my Masonic brothers know. You got some with the skull and bones with all the workman tools on it, with the acacia leaf right on the top of it. They know what I'm talking about. And these marks are truly slave names that were given to us as conquered West African nationals during the lawful times of slavery, 1779 and 1865. And we bear but one free national name, Moorish Americans, but no one has heard us yet. That's why the Proclamation Declaration, all Americans signed it. The first signage was in Americas that y'all can know that's modern is 1985. And then I got all the rest of the mayors signed in 2012. Soon all the coffins will talk. Then the earth will tremble from truth, but will rejoice and marvel from the divine life being returned to the dry bones, which have been left to dry from perpetual mental death in the noonday. See, brothers and sisters, what about a Mason being free? Let's deal with it. Negroes ain't no Freemason. No matter if you Negro or black, you was always a damn slave. The suffix free in Freemasonry is of great significance because it establishes the very status of the order and the intent of its members. Our prophet, just like I teach, it teach my Moorish brothers and sisters and my noble thinkers. Although you were born free, you will come to know that nothing is free until it is of itself, clean, pure, and unmixed. Be yourself, Moors. As water often freedom for fish to swim, As air offered freedom for birds to fly, like so secrecy offers freedom for masons to work and not be detected. And when any living thing is free, it's due to the natural autonomy, which offers security, glory of their own prosperity. No disrespect. When I deal the holy instructions to be free, this is what I teach. We don't serve no other God. The holy teachings of what we teach. So I just wanted to give y'all that little tittle. I can go further with the wisdom, but that ancient stuff, Negroes can be ancient. Ain't nothing ancient about a Negro. Negroes are made here in the United States. It's nothing ancient about a Negro. I don't care. It ain't nothing ancient about no Eastern Star. If you under the, no disrespect, a European and Albion, Daughters of American Revolution, it ain't nothing ancient about that. And your pentagram is not perfect. It's turned sideways. It's no disrespect to no one. It's no disrespect. We just don't know. All Negroes been made right here in the colonial USA, which less than, it ain't even old. Ancient begins, that ain't even old. Ancient, well, the word ancient is older than a Negro. That's why I tell y'all, since all Negro, black, and colors are made in the United States of America, then how can a Negro Mason truly be? A common grade school student, if taught the truth, would know black people cannot be a lawful day older than the history of the United States. So how are you ancient? You can't be. At best, they can trace their history. You know, anything they claim knowledge of prior to that date is purely prehistory. You know, and I don't even have to stay in it that long. The only thing a master mason knows and don't tell is who that's buried in our shallow grave. Ask him who buried in that shallow grave. If you're a Prince Hall Mason, ask him who buried in that shallow grave. And the true free identity of the so-called Negroes, the black and colored people. Ask them. Whoever coined this statement have obviously omitted Muslims completely because they are the ones who are forbidden to argue, but know and will tell you the truth. And this coined earthbound remark does not apply to Emmanuel, God and man, men of God, who still know today what Masons know not. Masonry base is mostly symbolic and speculative. It uses the symbols and the tools of the laboring man as gestures, signs, and forms, not the laborer per se. In the beginning, there were no operative masons in the order. It was compiled of mostly English social finest gentlemen of means who saw all others as hoi polloi, down to the narrows of the nose. Y'all know what hoi polloi is. The word others include women, cripples, persons of youth, and lesser European males. About 5 years later, France, in elite competition, began their orders of all white men, you know, and then they bring that stuff to us, and that's what brothers be under. No disrespect, and then finally accept it. One must see through the dual meanings of the Masonic words. Masons use the words profane world when describing all non-Masons, with no exception of wives, mothers, religions, association, children, courts, laws, ethnic persuasions, and Yahushua, etc. All of these make up the profane world of Freemasonry. They know it. The word profane derived from the Latin word profanius, meaning outside, excluded from, the temple, unclean, polluted, unholy, and completely unacceptable. Notice how exact Profanus described the entire constitutional man-made design of the so-called Negro. And according to all Masonic pillars, everything and everybody in the world is profane, which has not been sworn and made Masonic. And this leads to one master question. Where on earth, amongst all the nations of the human family, has the misnomer Negro, black, and color ever been accepted? With the truth in lending property be told, there is not a nation on earth that will publicly admit knowing the Negro is even here. That should be hard to believe. In the history of European occupied Americas, has any nation, country, or tribe ever come to the aid of the misnomer Negro? or which nation will stop the U.S. or anyone from inevitably pogrom of her entire colored people inventory? And what is the likelihood of all feds wearing loyal? I cannot tell you. I am the secret. See, the Black Masons and the 14th Amendment Temple citizens with its sisters, auxiliary lodges, and other Greek coconuts being saved from their even present plan of genocide for the sake of homeland stuff. And in the event of pogrom of the Negro, our God or our good Masons and preachers will lead them to no return. They will lead you right down to that King Alfred plan, subjugation. They'll get you caught up in voting Democrat and for all that goofy stuff. Not telling you free choice. And there are many things that are held high upon the list of exclusives in the realm of Freemasonry. Most sacred of the exclusions is either you are accepted as a European, white, Mason, or you are a part of their Masonic profane world. I'm telling you. I'll close with this, y'all. I'll close with the Hiram Abiff and widow son, and I'm out. King Solomon summoned the most accomplished craftsmen in civilized world, India, Persia, China. The call was for masters of the order of Melchizedek. That's why they want to act like they don't know what Melchizedek is in the Bible, because they're going to start going back to culture. That's why they play that stupid game. Well, how they don't know about Melchizedek and Jesus, Yahushua, was under the order of Melchizedek? Because they don't have the tablets. I got the tablets. And I graduated from academia, lecturing this. That's why I got my dual master's degree from a Christian university, Grand Canyon University. I got a dual master's degree. But the order of Melchizedek, from the sacred school of the Nazarites. This pestilent brother is a ringleader of the Nazarites. Who? Yahushua. Come on, man. We got to stick a fork in these people. They playing a game. An African brother named Hiram Abiff, who was also a master of building tools, also answered this Nazarite call. There was one Hiram from the kingdom of Tyre, the capital of which was Sidon, in the village of Zarephath, where he lived with his mother. One of Hiram's specialties was constructing pillars. The purpose of a pillar is to support that which is above with that which is below. Hiram's headdress, called the fez, depicted the mastery of his craft. Read 1 Kings in the 7th chapter. The other biblical Hiram is from Tyre. Hiram Abiff became the master builder of the King Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. One day, as Hiram with his tools, Rufins, like the Three Stooges, 3 Rufins attacked him. The 3 robbers named Jebella, and Jablon stole Hiram's tools and clothes. The 3 assailants were from the sun-cursed tribe and were after the secrets of of King Solomon's temple, and were beside themselves for not being invited to the building of the grand temple. Hiram Abiff stood naked before them. This is the story. And after they saw he didn't have the key to Solomon's temple, the thieves knocked Hiram in his head with the setting maul, killing him at high noon. To hide the crime, the murderers buried Hiram in a shallow grave in the north portion of the kingdom and concealed the grave with an evergreen plant on top of it. A search party of Hiram's fellow craftsmen came in need of the master builder. When the 3 Jews were questioned whether they had seen Hiram on the straightway, each denied any knowledge of him, but were beheaded. They continued their search in the south, the east, the west, but his body was finally found in the north after 4 long days, aka 400 years. All the king's men could not lift the son of a widow from the final grave intact. Only the king would know the right grip to raise Hiram Abiff from that grave. And so it came to the passing of our prophet, now me in the flesh, and all other God men. We are returning the ancient Egyptian mystery teachings to the falling sons and daughters of North America, right here. Right here. You can't deny it. If you're part of anything else, it's shirk. When I talk about religion plus slavery equals Freemasonry, 1460, 1492, 1555, 1619. The enslaving of Moors was a religious issue. It's supported by the Jews with the Torah, enforced by the Muslim with the Quran, and all entities under the cross, from the Roman Catholic, from the Pope's Vatican to the Christian churches of Europe. King James I, solicited the literary expertise of Shakespeare. So his version of the Bible would endow slavery as an act ordained by God. As for business ends of the three great religions, Muslims supply Africans for the slave trade. Jews tax their interest, earn on their investments, ships and shackles. When you look up the slave ship of Jesus, a lamb book. Franchises and the Christians use the chattel for free labor and the main producers for raw and finished products, which profits went back to the church, synagogue, and mosque. This marked the beginning of today's economic development of a global scale. I'm telling y'all, man, it's no disrespect. And now I close with the widow's son, and we out of here. And there can never be no widow's son. We gonna close. Watch. The widow's son is a myth made from the minds of Western Freemasonry. And these Negroes say, well, we the widow's son. But that's myth. How can you be a brother and then you put black in front of anything? According to science and law, black means dead. So black Freemasonry, black love, black banks, dead, dead, dead. And you know that. So if you call yourself black in the court, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. We finna go to court for some reparations and call yourself black. Well, the attorney, or he gonna get paid regardless if he win or lose, and he know he gonna lose because black has no standing in law. He know he gonna lose. He just like, damn, these black people that stupid. These misnomer Negroes that stupid. Yep. But it's a myth made by the minds of Western Freemasonry, cloaked in secrecy. As most lies originated from some degree of truth. That's why when I say rat poison can't all be poison because the rat won't go eat it. It got to be something in there pleasing to the eye, pleasing to the nose that's going to get the rat to go there and ingest that poison and then bring it back to his community. That's what this crap is. It's rat poison. If it ain't doing you no good, well, it ain't hurting me. It ain't doing you no good, you got to throw that crap out. Or as most jokes are founded upon realities, like so nearly all the European Masonic rituals, signs, tools, symbols, deluded reflections of Africa's originations. The so-called widow's son is no exception to these fundamental human principles. In European Masonry, the widow's son is descriptive of the West African god-man whose code name is Haram Abith. Now, Haram Abith, the so-called widow's son, generally code names are used by secret society, governments, officials, military intelligence, and other worldly thinkers to conceal what? True identities of operations and agents. We call them code names. What are they? Non-diploms. Trickle down to the what? The hoi polloi, and used as what? Nicknames. What I'm talking about, aliases, AKA, and stage names. And when Europeans wrote, they wrote from a pen name. They used a pseudonym. They had to write from a pen name because if they wrote against the church back then, they would be killed. Come on. I'm telling you, they wrote in a pen name, they pseudonym. I'm telling you. That's how a lot of Europeans wrote about our prophet. No matter the social level, deceptive or false identifications are used to hide the correct and proper person, place, or thing. And Haram Abith, the widow's son, originated from the same European mind which created the name Negro, black, colored people. The same 3/5 clause, the same blue-eyed Jesus, trust in the legal tender of man-made gods, formed the bust of past presidents and, of course, America's first sheeted terrorists. You know, the Klux Order. Other Masonic offerings include fake Santa Claus, Humpty Dumpty, presidents, and the corporate United States. The average citizen would probably croak from shock if they knew all the illusions, contributions, and that was contributed to this society, which were created to promote in the lodges of Western Freemasonry. The tables has been set for learning the truth about the widow's son. And the life of any widow begins with the death of her husband, and she has not remarried. Duh. A widow is a respected but unprotected woman. An unprotected woman is a first alert denoting to what? A fall of a nation. And these black Masons gonna call themselves their widow's son. That's why they're not gonna tell you who they are. That's why they're gonna not talk about their nationhood. They're gonna play a game. That's the atrocities of the single mom. And symbolically, the widow is a code word descriptive of a nation in adversity who cannot defend itself or prosper because its government and power has become what? Substandard. Most churches and secret societies collect donations called what? Widow's mite to help women who have been widowed. And the laws of marriage bonds had raised her from female to woman to support the high station of wife. And from there, she was raised to motherhood because she alone can create a God in 9 months without the sound of a hammer or nail. And allegedly, Haram Abith, the widow's son, prosperity has now been compromised with the death of his father. Secretly, her son's code name is Haram Abith for my Negro Black Masons, for my Prince Hall Black Masons. But publicly, his shallow graves have been clearly marked and accepted as the misnomer Negro, the black, and the colored people. And if the student can imagine the widow as Africa Amexima Akibalan and her son, the God-man of the Nile, then you can see why the furthest thing from what y'all say Willie Lynch, the furthest thing a European Mason's mind is the possibility of Haram Abith being raised from the constitutional shallow grave, whole and intact as one nation bearing one free name. You see? This is a cover-up. Denationalization. This is denationalization, a global cover-up of the West African nationals. And then our Freemason brothers won't tell the truth. That's why I say, man, come about that lies and tell the truth. They won't. My empresses, the Eastern Stars, come about that Daughters of America revolution. They won't. Come about that. There can be no widow while Allah is the husbandman. And what I teach Moors about the widow's son, the first thing that I teach you is Moors is actually the very last thing a Mason earns the privilege to know. Who made you? Allah, the great God. Man is a thought of Allah. They know it. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time. Man himself is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah. So spirit man and seed of Allah held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Now seed are perfect, yes, as perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded into the life manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed must be deeply planted in a soil that he might grow, that she might grow, unfold. And does the bud unfold to show the flower? The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was full ordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul, and he became the Lord of all the kingdoms of the soul. Brothers and sisters, as I close, the science in these lessons, there can never be no widow because Allah, the great God of the universe, is the husbandman. That's why the soil of soul, with her actions of thinking, willing, reasoning, understanding, and remembrance, is the mother within which Allah planted his spirit in man, in that seed. And the word man means thinker. The word man means thinker, master, able, noble, thinker. Man rises by the elevated degrees of what he thinks, of what she thinks. And this ladder of salvation has 3 steps, which is belief, which is faith, which is fruition, which can be found in your Moorish Quran, chapter 7, verse 25 to 31, my Moorish brothers and sisters. The more rapid your thoughts, the more like unto himself as God you become. Your thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. Man, woman cannot die. The spirit man, the spirit woman is one with Allah and lives in man and lives in one man. You cannot die. I want you to understand that. The rejected cornerstone, that's what you are, buried in the West. These gods manifest in Africa. I just went over the 7 African spirits. I just went over them. You got to understand. So why my Masonic brothers is not teaching this? That's what I'm saying. I love you all. I went a little longer than expected, but I love you all. Join us for Sunday school tomorrow. Please like and share these teachings. Subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube channel, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Anything you need, family, turbans, kufis, shemag, yarmulkes, talents, get with me. I have my own company, Moorish Haberdasher, but I look at you all on here as family, and you can get with me personally, and I can ship things to you. I promise you. Get with me. Goodman, GOODMANKHARY @gmail.com. 602-473-8767 is my office number. But when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Temple and School YouTube channel, all that be advertised going on at the bottom. Any ebooks you want, you can get from me. And I print and bind books. Anything that you see that I talk about, that I lecture, on my page, on my IG pages, or on my YouTube pages, or on my Facebook page, anything that I post and share, I have access to it. And I don't send you nowhere else for you to get caught up spending your money. When you deal with me, this is part of our Temple and School, and we tax exempt for the federal government. So when you get books and stuff from me, this is part of our culture. That's how we build our temple, by doing regular things. And when you give donations, I give you a tax exempt receipt, because we culture. But regardless, if you're here to learn, thank you, and your time and your love is worth more than anything. Liking and sharing this is worth more than anything. And I will give you gifts. I want to bring people to our community for y'all can start joining us live on StreamYard. I give gifts because I'm a source. I have a full library, and if any of my mufti was on TikTok, and if y'all was on YouTube, and if y'all join us on StreamYard tomorrow, all my brothers and sisters would testify. All college students would testify, like, this man helped us out. Like, this man did what Google did. Google spent $25 million converting books to ebooks. I spend a lot of my academic endeavor doing the same. That's how the money circulates in our community. That's why I tell young brothers, I say, you're going to do something on your own and hurt yourself. Because there's more sciences for your household, not to be going out the house thinking you know something. Because you can be destroyed easily. You can be a foreigner right in your own land. I promise you this. And that ain't how I rock. I travel all over. Most people I deal with don't even look like me. A lot of the kids that I tutor and mentor are Europeans, Hindus, because that's what's out here in Arizona. And I'm getting ready to do some work back in my city. So I travel all over on my own dime. I'll come to y'all city. If y'all want to come do a lecture and do a spiritual cleansing where I deal with the medicine bowls and we do workout and we do stretches. My mufti, Gregory Masso, he's a stretch therapist. We get on the road and do that. If people put it together, we'll come to your area. You know, and everything can be done off donations, and everybody can get a tax exempt receipt, and we can build this. It's no secret with me. It's sacred. So anything y'all need, y'all got my info. Please subscribe to my Temple and YouTube channel. And thank you once again for your time, for dealing with me for 2 hours. Thank you. I love everyone. Peace, 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 and positive vibrations to you all. I'll see y'all tomorrow for morning workout and Sunday school at 2 p.m. AZ time zone tomorrow. And please subscribe to our YouTube Temple and School channel at Burning Bush Tabernacle, Science Temple and School. And please subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, which is my name, Khary, I-B-N-A, Hakim, H-A-K-I-M, Goodman Bey. Thank you once again, family. I love y'all, and peace.